Good Sunday morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on Inside the Valley. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. Starting us off this morning, we are talking about National Car Seat Week, and I know maybe not a lot of you are well informed about what this actually means, but we have two professionals here who know all about it and who have all the important details that we definitely want to share with all of you. Now, we are joined here by Janet A. Welch. You are a patient educator with the Women's Hospital, and we have Octavio Saenz. You are the Public Information Officer for TxDOT. Thank you both so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you. Well, I see you have some
Props.
joining us today. So kind of explain to us a little bit about Car Seat Week.
Well, you know, I think we should start off with the stats because it's important that, you know, Jan illustrate the way that we're supposed to, you know, deal with the car seats, because the stats show that 2 out of 3 car seats are misused.
Okay.
So the best way that you can protect children in a vehicle is by having them in a child safety seat. But you have to have them properly placed, otherwise they're ineffective. And here in the Rio Grande Valley, when you look at the stats from 2017, we had 54 incidents in which 48 children were either injured or seriously injured, and we had 4 fatalities. So one child dying because of a poor car seat placement is way too many. So I think it's important to hear. It's a perfect example of how partners unite to, you know, show and to illustrate the community, to the community, that it is important that we take care of the most precious cargo we have in our vehicles.
Of course.
And starting from infancy all the way up, and the best way to start with car seats is for the parents themselves to be buckled up. You're the example, okay? So if you're buckling up all the time, then they know the car doesn't move until everybody in the car is buckled up. So it doesn't matter if you're a newborn or you're 18 years old, you need to be buckled up, okay? And when we start with the infant car seats, the American Academy of Pediatrics came out with their new guidelines last week, and they're not putting an age limit on these rear facing. They want them rear facing until they meet the standards on the side of the car seat, the height and the weight. And every car seat's different. Most of them, though, want them rear facing up to 40 pounds. And so some children will be 3, 4 years old before they can forward face, all right? And that's the safest for them because their little necks are not as strong as ours, and that whiplash could lead to catastrophic results for them, whether it's paralyzation or death. So it's it's much better for them to rear face. And some even the newer car seats actually have a little bench for them to put their little feet on now. So I know parents worry about that, but they can cross their legs, they can sit froggy style, whatever they want to do. And it's important to get the right car seat for the right child's height and weight and to fit your car. Sometimes we buy these big old car seats and you have this little car and it's hitting the front seat, the seat that's in front of it. And it can't hit the seat that's in front of it. So that person's knees are clear up in their chest in the front seat because this didn't fit. So measure that. And there's always the instructions are on the outside. And it's important with the instructions to keep them on the car seat at all times. A lot of times we read them, we install them, we throw them. But if you're going to use it in a different car and you can't remember exactly how to do, so most of your car seats will have a compartment either on the base or behind to go ahead and keep those instructions. They're supposed to stay on the car seat now. Okay, and then you can choose whether you want the latch system, which are these 2 hooks, or your seatbelt system, but you're not using the latch and the seatbelt at the same time. If you do, it fatigues the plastic, it'll snap and break in an accident. And you want them the right direction. So up to about 3 or 4, we're gonna have them facing rear. Then when they're facing forward now, we still want them in that 5-point harness, okay? Because we want them held in that protection. And that'll last probably almost till about, up to about 5 years old, okay? And then you can go to a high back booster. Now, why do we want the booster? Everybody says, they can just go ahead and be buckled in. The belt has to fit across the pelvis and the hips right here, not across the stomach, because that's where our children get injured with their bladder and their intestines. And so they have to fit. Their little rear end needs to go up, butt against the back here. Their legs fold over nicely here and they touch the floors. And the belt should come across here. So if the belt's still choking them up here, that means they need to be in a booster seat.
course,
And they can't take that belt and put it behind them because it's going to be better. No, that's what's keeping them from being injured. So, you know, as a parent, you need to explain this to them and why we're doing this, and it's a safety.
So you got everything down, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, I need to start taking notes myself too. It's a lot.
And
Yeah.
the reason
I could
why,
go on and
the
on.
reason why I say that is because you're a technician, a certified
Right,
technician, and TechStat also has technicians.
Mm-hmm.
And it's extremely important that people go to the people that have had this certification because
Right,
they
of course.
understand, you know, the new model cars, the new model of car seats, what to do, how everything
Mm-hmm.
works together. And one thing that I have seen a lot, I don't know if you've seen the same thing, Jen, that sometimes the car seats in the vehicles move a lot within the vehicle.
You have to get them firm, and sometimes because we don't have flat benches anymore, they're bucket seats and cabin chairs.
Right.
You can get pool noodles, or you can roll a towel to put them under there to get that firm seat. They shouldn't wiggle back
Right,
and
of
forth.
course,
You
of
want it very, very firm. And we're going to talk too. If they're forward facing, there's usually another webbing like this on the back called the tether, and that's going to go on the back, and you hook it up, and you just have to read your car manual. So that's another thing too, is
Absolutely.
you have to read the car manual before you put the car seat in, so you know where to put it. And those tethers are on a different place on trucks, different place on SUVs
course.
versus your standard cars, so okay, or sedans. So,
Yeah.
and so you need to read that car manual to know where you put and where the latch system is and how to get it in tight.
Of course. And so where can people go to kind of get help? Say maybe they're expecting, or they do have young children that they're saying, maybe, you know, they're watching this thinking, maybe I'm not doing it properly. Where should I go to get that help to make sure they're correctly fastened and safe inside their vehicles?
Well, the Texas Department of Transportation recently had an event,
Okay.
and we're having events throughout the state of Texas.
Okay.
But there's one coming up with you.
September 25th is
Okay.
a Tuesday morning, and it's going to be at 1000 East Dove, and it's at the Family UTRGV DHR Family Health Center. And it'll be right there, and we'll have the car seats there. We'll have the people checking our techs, and it's going to be a nice event. It's going to run from 9 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning. Yeah, so we won't be out in the heat.
Of course, I know. Nobody wants to stay out of the heat as much as they possibly can.
yeah.
And
So
also, and if people also need additional information, or if they need to make an additional appointment with a child safety seat technician at the Texas Department of Transportation, they can always go to this website. It's savemewithaseat.org.
Okay.
Savemewithaseat.org, and in there you'll find different areas of instruction as far as you know, the height, the weight requirements for the safety seats and the booster seats.
Right.
But you'll also find a place where you can actually make an appointment to see a technician. Now, the technician will provide a education which lasts around 45 minutes, and they'll, you know, along with the pool noodles or the towels, teach you how to properly secure one of those child safety seats in your vehicle.
Perfect. Well, this is definitely information that everybody should kind of be aware of. Everybody knows a child, whether they're their passenger or they're their own sibling, maybe their own child. Of course. So it's definitely you're right. You said it best, our most precious cargo. So thank you both so much for coming in today. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it, folks. Again, there is more information on all of these websites that we did pop up throughout. If you have any questions, go ahead and give them a call, and that way they can kind of forward you to the best person to kind of give you the help you need.
Right.
Again,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right, folks, coming up, HESTech Week is right around the corner. We have all the details of upcoming events you won't want to miss. Stay with us.